This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
How you doing, Joe? You feeling good?
Much better, Big O. Thanks for asking.
Are you in the facility? Because don't look beautiful. And normally, when it looks beautiful, that means you're home. This looks like you're in a facility right now.
Yeah, I'm at the Miami Dolphins press room in beautiful Miami Gardens. You should see
were you getting access to today?
You should see the amount of equipment that they're bringing through to try to get this racetrack done in time. And I'm sure it will get done, but there's a lot of big parts that are still being brought in. The Dolphins have tweeted.
Yes.
They are promoting the questions that we will be asking to Mike Gesicki, Landon Roberts, and Austin Jackson at 12 o'clock.
What's the most intriguing thing you want to ask Austin Jackson?
Well, obviously, if he's been told that he has an opportunity to compete at right guard and right tackle, which I would presume is the reality of the scenario.
They might even tell you left guard too. Even though you know, and I know that Connor will probably be the guy. I think that carrot will be. I bet you they dangled that carrot there because I don't think they want anybody with their heads out of the game. They want them like everybody competing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they always talk about that spring cross training, and I'm sure Austin Jackson will get the cross training at right tackle, right guard, even left tackle. I think in an ideal situation, he's kind of like the first offensive lineman off the bench, unless he really proves that he can be an outstanding right guard. I know that the staff is going to give him a fresh start and a fresh slate, so I'm sure Austin's looking forward to that. He's athletic. Yeah. I think guard is where it's at for him. Maybe right guard. Let's see him compete with Liam Eichenberg at right guard, or I guess right tackle if Robert Hunt wants to stay at right guard. It's going to be interesting to see shake out. I don't think any decisions have been finalized.
No, of course not. That's not going to happen till September, dude. Till late August is when they'll decide on what the hell's going on with that line, because they've got to go through a couple of preseason games and training camp to really get a feel for some of these guys. So I would imagine that would end up happening. All right, so I'm not a big fan of the Foster, signing him, and I know they brought him in, but I do love the Melvin Ingram one, and I was hoping last year they would get him. We had Ian Rappaport on earlier, and Ian dropped a nugget that said he hasn't visited anybody this year. So he felt that Melvin, by just visiting the Dolphins, was a real positive for Miami. So what are you hearing? Because I would love to see Melvin Ingram sign with the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, Ingram has visited the Dolphins in the past and not signed, so I don't think it's by any means a slam dunk. If you can add a Melvin Ingram at a reasonable cost, which it likely would be, last year, the Chiefs or the Steelers, whoever had him first, added him at a reasonable.
Steelers got him, then the Chiefs. That's how it went.
Right, so the Steelers signed him at a reasonable contract. Now, this is a player who has not had a lot of sacks over the last 2 years after posting 6 or so straight years of 7 sacks. So this is not the same player that he was in his prime, but I do like him as a rotational addition. When you add him in with an Emmanuel Ogbah, an Andrew Van Ginkel, a Jalen Phillips, and the thing about Ingram is he's not a one-trick pony. He's also very solid against the run. So he's not a liability on the edge, which a lot of these, pass rush edge guys are. So, yeah, of course, if you can add Ingram, you go ahead and do it. He certainly looks on social media to be in good shape. I think he's like 32 years old. I think it's a
Dolphins sign him. Do they get an A for the offseason?
No, Jesus. Probably not. Yeah, no, probably
Jesus, not. Damn, bro. God, you are.
Well, now that you made it a thing, I'm pretty much never going to give out an A.
No, obviously, we could tell. I mean, that's it. I mean, I don't know what else you want from these people. They've done everything possible to get an A from Joe Schad.
Well, the offseason's not over. They got a little bit of salary cap space. There's always the possibility.
Well, if you haven't given an A now, you're not going to give them an A for a 3rd or 4th round or 7th round picks. You're not doing that.
Well, yeah, they could add a center. They could add a middle linebacker, an edge rusher. You never know. They did sign a former Pro Bowl punter, right?
Yes, but you still didn't give them an A for that. You added a punter. They're going to add Melvin Ingram, and there's still no A. There's still nothing.
No, B plus.
What kind of a B? It's a B plus, huh?
B plus is like a 87.5, I think. That's pretty good.
I think a B plus for you is kind of really an A for the rest of us. I'm going to go. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that.
I do have high standards.
Yes, definitely. I mean, you gave your pool guy like 2 stars out of 5. I mean, that was a terrible review for the pool guy. God, that was just brutal, Joe. Poor guy. He'll never get work again.
Yeah.
So
who else? So Mike Gesicki. So the question for Mike Gesicki, before you ask your question, is obviously, how do you feel about playing on this franchise tag? Are you comfortable with it? Do you think it's a good idea to go ahead and just see how you fit into the Mike McDaniel offense? Or are you still hoping for a long-term contract? He'll probably say that he's not worried about it and he's letting his agent handle that, something like that.
By the way,
focused on Durham Smythe getting a long-term contract.
People are saying we should call you Joe Schad because there's no A in it. So Joe Schad. No Joe Schad. We have to eliminate the A since there are no A's for Joe Schad. So Joe Schad. So this is how we have to. I think they're on to something there now. Since since you don't grade an A, you don't get one for your name either. Then
look, it's April. I don't give out A's in April.
Well,
Nobody's getting
April. Come on, have a heart for April. A for April. Joe Schad joining us here from the Palm Beach Post. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Schad Joe. There on the. So let me ask you, just out of. You start looking at the whole big picture thing, okay? And you saw Tua, that soundbite of him being wowed about Marino arriving and all that good stuff, right? You saw that, right? Did you see that?
Yeah,
video?
I'm looking forward to. I'm sure that we're going to catch up with Tua in the near
but
future.
Did you see that specific video of him pointing at, hey, there's Dan Marino. Wow, that's Dan Marino. And did you see that part? Did you see that video?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, you did. All right. And then that obviously being there and being supportive, and then earlier during the year, there was that moment where they showed Dan with Tua on the field. Do you remember that video of Dan on the field with Tua?
Yeah, I mean, what was the thing though? They were talking, right? What was the thing?
It was one of those. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can bring it up for you.
There wasn't a problem there, right? Was there a problem?
No, it wasn't a problem at all, my brother.
Oh.
The way at least the way I viewed it, I didn't view it as a problem. Let me see here.
I mean, listen. Of course, Marino is going to support Tua in the same way. Jason Taylor once said he thought Charles Harris could be like a Pro Bowler. I mean.
Right. Well,
these guys support each other.
Exactly. So here's that video that was caught by, I don't know, one of the things, some camera or something. And there's Marino obviously hugging Tua. And this was during that time. And then he puts his hand on his face, the Italian thing, like, hey, kid, we know you're not the problem. We know what the real problem is.
Yeah, but did a lip reader come in and say that that's what he said? I didn't know that.
No, I'm just telling you kind of what he's. That's it. That's the Italian thing. Hey, we love you, kid. We know you're not the problem. We know Flo's the problem. And so one of the things that wasn't
it a Landon Roberts who said that on the sideline?
Also, yes.
In a mic'd up thing?
Yeah. Now, hold on a second. So, perspective here. So Jimmy Johnson put Dan Marino through hell when he took over. He stripped the offense, got rid of Irving Fryer, got rid of his pass catching running backs, got rid of the audible system that Marino could call, the entire playbook if he felt like it, and he gave him a check with me system. And it was hell for Marino the final 4 years with Jimmy, because he didn't really have the support from Jimmy, because Jimmy wanted to trade him, and Wayne wouldn't allow it. Wayne forced him to keep Danny, and Flo didn't want to. So I'm just saying, Marino understands Tua to a certain extent of what it's like to be around a coach who is not supportive of you. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think in general, it's important to feel that the folks you work for, your direct supervisors, do have confidence that you can be successful, that you can perform well. So, yeah, I definitely think that there's a lot of validity to the idea that Tua's confidence is going to be boosted by the additions of Mike McDaniel and Darrell Bevel, Frank Smith, those guys. I think everything has been put into place to help Tua, and that's why my expectations for Tua have increased. That's why I think he's going to perform well in 2022.
All right, but you can't get you're not allowed on the bandwagon now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so when we're on our way to Arizona for the Super Bowl and you're writing all those nice articles, you're not allowed with Omar back there behind you. You guys aren't allowed on the bandwagon. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, I saw trainer Nick Hicks was questioning whether or not Omar was a Tua believer.
No, he's a Tua disbeliever.
Say hi, Omar. Omar, are you a Tua believer at this point?
I am a Tua believer. I am not all out on Tua.
He's not all out on Tua.
Yeah. Neither one of you two are allowed on Tua. No. Okay.
Omar doesn't get paid for this segment, so I'm not going to force him to talk to you. Just say it. We only talk when we're paid around here.
So wait a minute. Hold on a second. So I want you now I want you to look at Omar's list now, because I had to go defend Andrew Van Ginkel's honor here, because he called them just a jag. And he said there are 10 guys in free agency better than Andrew Van Ginkel. Anthony Barr, Quan Alexander, Jason Pierre, I only have a couple fingers left, Paul, Kevin Minter, Kyle Van Noy, Jamie Collins, Donta Hightower, Trey Flowers, Jadeveon Clowney, Tack McKinley, Malcolm Smith, and KJ Wright.
Maybe four or five of those guys you could argue.
Right. Okay.
But listen, Andrew Van Ginkel is a good player. He's a high motor guy. He's a guy who's going to give max effort. He's a guy who's going to force some turnovers. Not as many last year as the year before.
Well, turn around and tell Omar, hey, only 4 or 5 of those guys on that list are worthy.
Listen, every player on your defense doesn't need to be a Pro Bowler, doesn't need to be a superstar. Van Ginkel is what he is, and he's a good player. You can't make everybody happy, though. I made a list of the Dolphins' core young players that Chris Greer put together, a nice list, and friends and family of Zach Sealer. Nobody's been a bigger Zach Sealer fan than me. They got after me on Twitter. Hey, you're missing Zach Sealer. Well, you know what? Zach Sealer's a good player, but I can only fit like 10 guys on the list.
Well, but the guy's a hell of a player. He makes plays in every freaking game.
I call him the Beast. There's nobody who's a bigger fan.
I love Seiler, bro. He is awesome.
No, I know, but you can't always include Andrew Van Ginkel and Zach Sealer on every list. Last year it was, you know what they were? They were my number 1 and number 2 underrated Dolphins in my list. So underrated, high motor, hard workers, overachievers.
Just make sure you turn around and tell Omar that list that doesn't fly. All those people better than Van Ginkel. Well, come on.
Big O, what you do is you put us in a corner, and then you make us defend our position.
That's the idea.
And then people attack us on Twitter and call us idiots. And then you love it because it's creating drama and excitement.
I love it.
You like everything that players think of us. That you are a little bit of a rabble rouser.
Me, I would never stir anything up. I would never do anything like that.
Did you tweet?
That's just so wrong on your part to think that I would try to stir.
Did you tweet out unfairly that Alan Poupar said that Mike McDaniel was not a cool guy. That was not nice of you, and I'm
I
going to
didn't say
defend
that.
Alan.
I didn't say that.
That was a bad tweet by you. That
No,
was
I didn't
not
say
nice.
that Mike McDaniel. No,
That
I
was
didn't
not
phrase
nice.
it. I didn't phrase it that way.
What did the tweet say?
I forgot, but I didn't phrase anything about Mike McDaniel not being a cool guy. It was something. I forgot what it was. I was what was it with Poupart? What was Poupart against?
Alan, what was it that he tweeted?
He basically
Yeah. Where is Poupart?
That what?
He's suggesting that Mike McDaniel doesn't have any kind of different attitude than Flo. It's the same thing, and it's
There's no difference between Mike McDaniel and Flo.
No. It was he was the one he doesn't agree that McDaniel's made an impression on the team. That's what it was.
Do you not agree that McDaniel has made an impression on the team?
You see? I said this again. He's a cool dude that everybody's gonna like. It doesn't mean shit.
Big O, just so you know, when you're not around, we all talk about you. Just so you know.
That's fine with me. I'm used to that. That's nothing new, bro. I've been at this 32 years. You know what I mean? I've had headlines in the Herald from Mike Lowell taking shots at me. I mean, give me a break. It's all
Alan is like a wait and see. He's a wait and see guy. He's a veteran.
Yeah.
He's got some skepticism, and I do too.
That's right.
But I like those headlines. I like the headlines. Here's why Mike McDaniel's a cool guy. Like, I like those headlines. I enjoy that.
Yeah. And you agree he's made an impression. There you go.
But I understand the point that Alan was making, which is, and he often says this, what do you expect the guy to say, And you say that sometimes too. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah, but that guy's completely different than the rest of.
Yeah, no. I mean, when the players are asked, like, what do you think of his personality? Oh, he's great. I mean,
Oh, but I never hear cool like we did from Tyreek. I never hear some of the things the way they've described him. That's not the way they describe Flo.
No.
Cameron or Gase or any of those guys. They may say, I like the coach or whatever, but they were a little bit more colorful.
I think Alan pushes back on sort of cliche storylines. So, for example, you're either a disciplinarian and what do they call it? A totalitarian? Is that right? Totalitarian. Or you're a really cool players coach. It's like how you try to pin us on one side or the other. You're either a Tua non or a Tua hater.
That's right.
No in between.
No in between. You hate Tua.
But life is shades of gray.
That's true. There is.
But you don't see gray. You just see black and white.
Not in your case with Tua. No. Not in your case.
You should see that I'm gonna write a story with all the headlines that I've ever written about Tua and how the Dolphins should take him and how he's this great hope and everything. Okay. The most accurate passer, everything.
But then add all the other headlines of they should trade for that guy, sign that guy, move this guy, bring this guy in for competition.
I mean, if you have a chance to add a Deshaun Watson or a Tom Brady, you have an obligation to look into it.
Yes, you have an obligation.
You agree?
Yes, I get it.
Is there any question you want us to ask Mike Gesicki, Landon Roberts, or Austin Jackson? Since you're not out here like the rest of us, working hard.
Well, I work hard every day. Don't get that wrong.
In a different way.
That's damn right. Damn right. But I do work hard. Asking Landon Roberts, does he feel he'll end up starting or he'll be competing for that position at middle linebacker?
You know what the thing on Landon is? Like he is what he is. He's going to be in on first down against the run, sometimes second down against the run, never on third down. So it's kind of a rotational thing. If they're going against the Derrick Henry, we got Landon Roberts. Let's put him in there. You know what I mean? Because he's not great in coverage, but he's a thumper. He's good on the goal line.
It's hard for you guys to really get into much because they don't really know the system. They haven't played in it. They don't know the coaches. It's just there's still so much unknown for them, So it's hard right now to kind of get some kind of meat on the bone. You know what I'm saying?
Are you being sarcastic? Because
I'm being real. No,
defense is the same.
Oh no, but I'm saying Gesicki, it's hard to ask him anything about the offense because he hasn't been a part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that he spoke to Mike McDaniel about how he can do some George Kittle-like things from a receiving perspective.
Right.
Routes, not blocking.
Right.
I'm sure young Daniel Frones will ask Mike Gesicki. David, are you going to ask Mike Gesicki if he's improved his blocking? Daniel Oyefusi plans to ask about the blocking.
There you go. All right. There we go.
All right, we're going to go to the press conference.
He'll be pancaking you, Joe, later. Follow him on Twitter at Shit Joe, because there's no A anymore. No, really, Shad Joe. Follow him there. And then, of course, catch him at the Palm Beach Post after he talks and grills all the players today at camp. Joe, we love you. We'll catch up with you next week.
See you, buddy.
You got it. There you go. The great Joe Shad. Yes, sir. With our American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report.
When you're ready
This is the Big O Show. This is the